Hello and greetings to another year of the annual program peer review process. This video is going to help explain how to work through the process. And right now you're looking at the cover page. It will list your program, your name as the program director. It will list the assessment type, and there's several. There's the year one or an annual, and it will list as to the type of review that you're going to be conducting. You will also have on here the review date and time when you're going to go through the presentation with the committee. And so the process is very simple. What we do is we send you the data a good month, better than a month actually, to you so you can review the data and assess it. And then there's going to be a date, this review or this due date on the cover page when you're going to send back your completed report in, the draft of the completed report. What happens after that is the committee will peer review your program, and then you will then receive it back, look over the reviewed comments, the peer-reviewed comments, and update your program annual program peer review document to address any concerns or maybe some clarity issues, something like that, that you will update in the document. And then once that is all complete, we will be conducting the actual review together as a group. So that's kind of how the process works. What you're looking in front of you is the template, and you'll see in the first paragraph here who is on the committee, and generally speaking there will be about 8 or 9 of us. The annual program peer review is designed to actually be very supportive of program directors, and you are to look at this and review this through a teaching and learning lens. So it will help us as we work through this together. It'll help us to determine best practices, how to work across departmental lines, if you will, different departments in the university. And those are the goals. We want to improve our programs. We want some systems in place to be able to do that, so that we gather and collect data that is going to be useful to everyone at the university. There is a link if you need to use that link to go to get your previous year's annual program assessment report. Now, generally, what's new this year is you should be receiving last year's report with this year's data report for you. If you have any trouble whatsoever, please reach out to Yvette Dean. Her email is listed there. What your job is to complete the data fields in the report and return it to us. Return it to myself so that I can send it out to committee and they can peer review it. Now, there will be data in the report that you can look through, but that is probably not all the data that you're going to want to be looking at. And you may want to go to the program director dashboard to see if there's any additional data that might be useful to you. The link is here for you. All right, so you're going to be receiving the data from the previous 2 years, your end of course evaluations data for both the school and for the program. And just a note, these questions are going to be changing, and we're going to be using that new data, or I should say students will start to see the new questions probably end of fall, possibly most definitely by the end of winter. So we'll be, for the next year, we'll be collecting data on these questions as well as questions on the new end of course evaluation questions that we'll be serving. Let's see, the headcount retention graduation metrics is excellent data, and this part of the report has not changed at all. This metrics of student learning section has changed considerably. So what you're going to be noticing is that the university is no longer collecting introductory or practice data on assignments, nor is the university collecting data on the CULGs, the CULGs. Now, we are still collecting data on the mastery rubrics, and so that's what you'll be seeing here associated with your program learning outcomes. If you need to, that will conclude the data that you're going to receive. If there's other data that you want to look at in a more deeper sort of way, please visit the Program Director dashboards. The link is here. Now, there is going to be a little bit of different look and feel to the program peer review aspect of this, and what you're going to see are the different sections, and I'll explain them as you see them on the screen. The initial comments, there are 3 different questions. Use the write your paragraph here, and what we want you to do is to be not necessarily brief, but brief to the point where you at least express all of the ideas that you want to present. If there are any points along the way where you are expressing ideas or pulling information from some other source, we want you to cite that source and include the link so that we can actually go verify the data that you're referring to. In this particular section, when in the previous year, and you do have that report with you at this point, you will be reviewing last year's goals and you will be listing them here. Now, this section of the report has changed this year. We want it to be more qualitative in nature. And what you'll do is you'll answer these 3 questions, start each section below by defining the goal. And this is from last year, right? So you're going to look at last year's report and you're going to see what goals you had in mind and how you actually, took actions on them, what was the expected results that you wanted to achieve. And here you get to look and reflect back on those and determine how the year has actually performed for you on those particular goals. And this is where you're going to describe them, write about them, and talk about them. This next section is the faculty end of course evaluations, and currently there is no data available for the year that we are reviewing, but this may change going forward as more connections to data that we had was lost and more connections are being repaired and rebuilt. So currently we don't have those, but that may change in the middle of the year. All right. If you have an advisory committee, this is where you talk about the advisory portions of your committee. And please do read each of the sections so that you understand very clearly what it is that's that we're looking for, and that it kind of gives you some prompts as to how to go about and answering those questions. So as you look at the coming year, the future year, right? So you're going to be looking at specific actions that you're going to want to take in the program. You're going to use a very similar format to the earlier section, and you're going to answer these 6 questions. And you'll answer those 6 questions in each of these boxes. So that if this is one of the goals, then answer all 6 questions in this one box for a single goal. A second goal, you'd do the same thing here. A third goal, you'd be doing the same thing in the third box. If you need more boxes, copy and paste the box and put it below. So you're going to be looking at anywhere between 3 to 5 areas that you are looking to develop in the coming year. So, and this is the area for that. The strategic initiative section is really an area for you to create your vision and how you're going to be going about doing this part of your of your Appr. So, consider that. Consider how you're going to get to those places, how you want to build out your the vision for your program. If there's any budget implications, certainly mention it in this particular space as well. And that is pretty much the Appr for this year. I appreciate you tuning in. And if you have any questions whatsoever during the process, reach out to myself. And my email is on the cover page. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.